Hi folks. So I am joining the Werewolf Beer live stream today to talk to Rich, who hopefully will be joining us soon to basically fill you in on the status of our crowdfunder campaign. Just waiting for Rich to join. So yeah, it's nice sunny Saturday. Hope everyone is raring for the weekend and ready to have some nice folks joining. Ready to have a nice weekend out in the sunshine, hopefully safely if you're able to go out for drinks. I know not all of the UK and I know not all of the world is able to have drinks out in this good weather. So just waiting for Rich to join us. And then we can fill you in on the status of things and what we are looking forward to, what next steps and what we're looking forward to in the months to come. So I think Rich is joining us soon. So I see we've got Hideaway Brewing Co. joined us. Hey folks, thank you. And London Horror Society, thank you so much. You've been, I've seen you've been sharing our posts a lot. Hey Rich, let's get you in. But yes, London Horror Society, thank you so much for lots of the shares that you've put out regarding our campaign. Hey,
Good morning.
you look so summery in the green. It's great.
It's really nice out, so we're not going to keep everybody too long because it's fantastic. You should get some fresh air.
Yeah.
It's a placebo hangover.
Yeah, I was going to say, how are you feeling after celebrating a bit yesterday?
Not bad. It's overwhelming. Uh, I had my doubts at the beginning. I'm like, it was a big hairy target, and the outpouring of support and camaraderie and well wishes was amazing. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm bowled over and teeny bit dehydrated. So sports drinks.
Yeah. So I basically thought it would be good to catch up with folks together since we've sort of been chugging through this campaign for the last 4 weeks. Yeah, feels like it's gone really
Yeah,
fast. But basically, I think it's important, just to get like a personal message out. Like I know that we've both worked really hard, but it's been, like you said, was a hairy target. There were like weeks where it was like, okay, this is going to be a push, especially as it's all or nothing. But like you said, thank you so much everyone for the shares, for the pledges, for the donations. I don't know what the breakdown is, but I think you have an idea of how many people donated, like what percentage was a donation, how many pledges. I just think that's really beautiful and really kind, especially since it's a new venture. But I have full faith that what you're going to bring to Camden and to the London beer scene, and also just international beer scene, because you've got great connections, should be like, it's going to be a great ride. And so I just want to put my heart out to everyone who's gotten us here today to say thank you. But like Rich was saying, the campaign's not over yet. So do you want to talk a little bit about the stretch target and what that money, those extra funds will go towards, so people have an idea of, where that money's going?
sure. Um, the first thing is, if you're into horror movies, you'll know that once you've vanquished the bad guy and everybody's walking away from the abandoned building, bloodied and scraped up, and they're very relieved, it's not over because the bad guy is going to pop back up, and that's what we're doing right now. This is the official horror movie ending. We still got 3 days to go, and so we're in a unique position where we've hit it, and we can still keep raising money. And the things we're going to be looking to do with that is kind of really an upgrade to the tap room draft system. We really planned on kind of going bare bones to start and upgrading later. But I think it's going to be really key to everyone's experience and the way the beer is served and how it looks to spend a bit more on getting a really, really nice draft system in. Part of that also is one of the things we've talked about through the campaign is how kind of visually the beers are going to look a certain way. And what I'm looking at, which was before probably unachievable because they're a bit pricey, is these optic style fonts that have a massive glass chamber in them that is lit, that actually shows the beer as it comes through. So if we've got a bright beer on, you're going to see what it looks like. If we've got a hazy beer on, you're going to see what it looks like. If we've got a green beer or a pink beer on, you're going to see what it looks like before it goes into your pint glass. And for having weird and unusual beers to start, it's always a bit tough to sell them to somebody that maybe isn't familiar with what we're doing. I think visually this is going to help a lot. So it's also going to be things like cooling and making sure we're pouring really, really good pints for everybody. We'll waste less beer and make sure everything's at the right temperature. So we kind of we're super pro. I mean, the help so far was great, but this is going to make it so we're opening at the level we want to be at instead of opening at bare bones and then adding on later.
Yeah, that sounds like I'm really excited. The fact that we've now got that money, that the tap room and the brewery is happening. It's like, okay, like kind of being like a kid in a candy store. Like, what next? What do I want to pick? But I think you've got a really good business plan. I spent a few weeks looking through that before we embarked on this venture of okay, let's crowdfund because this is going to cost a lot of money and more money than what you had set aside before the pandemic hit. So I feel like that's really exciting, and we can get the cans out once you get brewing. And yeah, I mean, maybe like when can folks kind of expect? Do you have a date yet? Knowing now that you have the funds, do you know how long it's going to take?
It's the target or the projected date is probably late August.
Yeah.
Again, it's all dependent on what's going on with the actual construction at the arch. And I have just seen, walking by yesterday, it looks like they've got permission to close the street off next week.
Okay,
which means I'm pretty sure because there were a lot of men in high vis standing around the arch. So I think next week they're going to be digging up the street, which means connecting our drains, connecting our electric, and connecting our water. So those were kind of the big things needed for everything to proceed, not just what I'm doing to make it happen, but what the landlords have to do so we can actually use it.
Yeah, I think that's like a big step, and it's like making everything come a bit closer, and then everything can like follow from there. So I think we've picked up on our thanks, and we've explained what's happening, vaguely what's happening next. I think you said 4 days to raise up to, well, we could raise more than the 35k, but that additional 5k would be directly put towards making sure the tap room is and the beer pouring systems are top notch. And then I think we'll update folks and we'll get their prizes out to them a little bit after then. And I think maybe do you want to tell folks what you're up to today in case they want to catch you out in the sunshine?
So I first, because Tash has said it, and I don't want to take words out of her mouth, but I wanted to personally say thank you to everybody that's put in. It's been massive. So today I'm going to be running around, hopefully, St. John's Wood area, which I've now learned after how many years in London is Little America. So we'll be running around, seeing who's sitting outside the pubs, having a beer, poke around over near the American School. and head by Panzer's Deli, which is kind of holds special significance for a lot of Americans. And Tosh, sometimes she ever wants to tell that story because it's a good one. But
Yeah, it's a great place where it's the first place I've been able to get prickly pears in London. So yeah, it's a great deli, really really good. Shout out to Panzers if they're listening or if they're going to watch back.
yeah, and we'll tag you in. I'm going to be heading out with the lovely Laura, my partner in crime over here, and we're going to be going. Where are we going, Laura? Wildcard Barrel Store. And I will be sharing some beverages with a lot of her friends that have pledged, a lot of her camera and Crafty Beer Girls friends are going to be there. And also, I'm going to stick my head in God's Own Junkyard and see
Right.
what they've got laying around, because we are going to need some decorations.
Yeah, I think that's going to be so cool. I'm already like envisaging the sort of like neon green, like slime greens and bright reds and like kind of like yeah, just it'll be so cool. Um, like thank you, like we said already, but thank you so much, guys. Like we can do all the fun bits now that we've done. Hey Ozzy, not your cat. Now that we've done sort of like the brunt of the like fun like financial funding work, and it's just going to be really great from this point onwards. And yeah, I really hope folks do enjoy the sunshine if you're allowed to. I know not all of the country is able to be free, but yeah, have a great weekend, guys. And I'll hand over to Rich to wrap up on our Insta Live.
Yes. Thanks again to everybody. Um, it's not over, and there's a lot of people that are just discovering us because of the article in the Camdenist, the big ad and write up in American and Britain magazine last week. I think Syracuse.com has an article coming out today talking about back home. So there's a lot of people that are just discovering that Werewolf Beer exists or is about to exist. So make sure we keep the momentum going, and those people are able to kind of get in on the ground floor with everybody else, welcome them in, and make the family bigger. And soon we'll all be able to have a drink together. So thank you so much, everybody.
Cheers. Thanks.
Goodbye.